Good evening, everyone. Please confirm if you can hear me by reacting. Right. My name is Yasir Sanusi from the Nigerian Economic Student Association, and it's my honor to host and be the facilitator for tonight's session, which the topic being the dividends of extracurricular activities using active participation as leverage. And with us, we have Habeeb Lukman, and he is a final year economics student, and he serves as the current president of IETA, which is Islamic Economics Thought Association. And also with us, we have the president of this association, as well as the head of research for Tax Club, and that's Popoola Nifemi. And then we also have with us a member of the Investment Society, Bilikis O, Yisa, and she is the Secretary General. So without much wasting of time, I would love to call on our first speaker. So the ground is yours. If you are ready, please. All right, you can start now. So sorry for that. I even forgot.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Habeeb Lukman, and I serve as the current president of Islamic Economic Association, as you said earlier. Yes, I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible, please.
Okay, and also a final year student of economics from the Department of Economics and the Paper University Zaria. So it's a pleasure of mine to be here and to share what I have or what I can share with you guys this night. So, yes, am I permitted to share my screen?
Yes, you can share your screen.
I don't think I'm allowed to. Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry, my mic was muted. I said you are permitted to actually share your screen according to the settings here. So try sharing again.
It's still telling me I'm not allowed to share my screen.
All right, give me a moment, please. Let me check it. Just forward the slide to me, because the setting here shows that you are allowed to share your screen. I don't know why. Maybe it's from your side. I don't know what the issue is, but the setting here shows that you can share your screen. So I don't know where the issue is coming from.
Okay. I'm coming. Let me share it with you.
All right.
Okay, yes, from my hand also, I cannot share the screen, so I don't know, maybe it's your setting.
I actually confirmed in two places, and then I can share the screen. So I'll just share my email with you, and then you forward it to my email so I can kind of open it for you guys.
Check.
All right, that's fine. I'll send it to you.
I shared the slide with you.
All right, just give me a moment.
Okay, I think we are going to move forward, not to waste much of our time pending when the slide will get shared on the screen. So to start with, I would like this to be a very interactive session between us, because we are much of understanding than to just come and pour out long English and wordings. I hope I'm audible enough, please. Yeah, thank you. Am I audible enough?
Yes, you are. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so to start with, I would like to start with a question to say, okay, maybe there was or there's an opportunity given to two students, an opportunity of an internship, a scholarship, or a graduate training program, or a work given to two students that have the same degree and that have the same qualification. What I mean by the same qualification is the same. Okay, what do we use to gauge our academic standing? CGPA, right? So they have the same CGPA and the same standing, let's say 2 points, or two first and second class upper, or let's say first class students, two first class students given the opportunity of an internship, and they are going to pick one. So what makes one choose? What is it that make them to choose one person, and what is it that make them to reject another person, given that okay, they have the same result? So that is exactly what we are trying to figure out here, that okay, what is the difference that make an individual to be chosen or to be given an opportunity, and that difference that also make another individual to get turned down. So it is not only grades that basically determine or define specific role, or let me say determine your, how will I put it, your stance out there in the industry. So it is basically why we are here, and we call it, okay, what are the dividend of extracurricular activities? That is the theme of the webinar, and how active participation becomes a leverage in your life. So to move on, in my own part, I'm going to take, okay, dividend of extracurricular activity in the aspect of beyond the classroom. Okay, beyond your classroom, why extracurricular activities matter. Because we basically know what happens in the classroom, okay, lectures, assignments, basically theoretical aspects. Okay, now beyond your classroom, outside the classroom, why is it that extracurricular activity matter? So that is basically what I'm going to talk on or enlighten our mind about. Next slide, please. So basically, there are two basic things we are to acquire in university, but most of students only have the, let me say, the mindset or the narrow mindset into that. Okay, I only came to university to get my academic degree. But moreover, coming to university, if you only leave the university or finish the university to only acquire your academic degree without having an additional degree, which we call the professional degree, it is by fact or by experience that when you go out there, you are really going to find it difficult to suit yourself in. So what I'm trying to explain here is that your CGPA, maybe you are standing at first class or second class, doesn't really matter out there. Because we could take a student, for example, that have a very strong CGPA, a first class student, whereby there is a work opportunity and they said, okay, the work opportunity for you to be eligible, you have to be a first class student or a second class upper. You are eligible as per academic standing. But at the end of the day, you are not qualified. So this is where extracurricular comes in. This is where the second degree come in, because the first degree, academic degree, make you or made you qualified for the role or for the job, right? But then what made you eligible or what made you stand out or to get picked for that job or role is what we call the professional degree. And what are that professional degree? The professional degree are in the aspect of, okay, what are your adaptable leadership? What are the leadership roles you've taken in university level? What are the strategic communication you have or strategic network or industry network you've already put in place while you were in university level? And what are the experience you've gathered when you were in university level? But moreover, we all know what academic degree entails, whereby you have your CGPA, your technical exam, and your structure course, and then the academic merit. So having both of these, that is your academic degree and your professional degree, is what make you to be in a balanced place, or what give you a strategic balance in the industry out there. Next slide. So as an economics student, because I know most of us, or given that the webinar is being anchored or is being brought to us by economics, the NESA body, so I kind of narrowed this down to an economics student, but then this doesn't actually limit what I'm about to say here. So given that you are an economics student, you have numerous advantages to enter into academic, to enter into extracurricular and acquire 2 degrees before you leave the school or before you graduate from the school. Whereby there are 2 society, or let me say 2 association, where we have the Investment Society, that is CIS, and the Islamic Economic Thought Association, IETA. So basically, what the Investment Society basically does is that they give you that skills into investment research, because what we know, or what me and you know that we do in class as an economic student, is we basically focus on theory aspects, whereby we have to cram y equals to c plus I plus g plus open bracket x minus m. You understand? Then they are telling us that the idea is investment. Okay, what the investment really entails, you give the definition, but the practicality of around the research investment, then this society gives you that leverage that, okay, when you are a member or an ESCO of the society, you have the leverage to know more about investment research, financial markets, because to be fair, we know we are an economics student, right? But not up to 50% of us understand what are really going on in the financial market. But as a member of this society, you have a leverage to be very well aware of the financial market. Then you have something we call executive networking, whereby you get to network with others, see the dimension or the direction of other studies. Then teamwork, logistic, equity analysis, CFA competitions. When you talk about CFA competition, CFA basically means Chartered Financial Analyst competition, which are of two types, where we have the ethics competition and we have the equity competition. The ethics competition is more of a compliance into the financial system or financial industry, and the equity competition is kind of tied to the equity analysis, whereby you have to do some financial modeling and forecast the future of the company. And then we have key public speaking. Then we have leverage into key public speaking, because it is with fact that a lot of students quite suffer that public speaking aspect. Then at the Islamic Economic Thought Association, we are very advantageous when you join as a member or as an ESCO, because we have what we call the forward program, whereby you tend to have the knowledge around Islamic finance, because basically in economics department, Islamic finance is taken as, let's say, an elective course. You get to have the theoretical and practical aspects of Islamic finance, qualitative research around Islamic finance and the finance itself. Then we have the community engagement. You get to engage in community and see what are the issues or what are the challenges within a community and try to solve the problem or the challenges of that community for them. I think few numbers of you in this course that are part of the forward program can attest to that. Then we have structural leadership, we have ethical economics. Ethical economics in the essence that, okay, economics itself is not just, is like mostly divided into some parts or some segments, whereby we can have the conventional economics and the ethical economics. Ethical economics is basically on how we can have a faith-based economics. Then you can also be advantageous in the aspects of public lecture and critical thinking. So what this does is that this tries to bridge the gap between your academic learning and the practical aspect, because we can say that, okay, economics department, there is no that practical aspect or the practical aspects of for students to like grab or to have experience on. Because if you go to engineering, you can see them going to, let's say, Cyrus or going for IT. But if you come to economics, know that practical year, whereby you tend to go for IT or you tend to go for Cyrus. But joining this society or joining this association give you that practicality and experience that you will need in the school before you move outside. And then it's kind of determine you and build you on, whereby you get to have your academic degree and then you get to have your professional degree. You get to graduate with 2 degrees when you go out, not that you only come to the school, acquire your CGPA and go. Next slide, please. So yeah, kind of talks about what are the things employers really look for in students or when you graduate. But to explain this, let's put it in this way, whereby I'm kind of seeing how I can put this in a way you guys will understand. So apparently, employers might wake up and say, okay, let's hire someone or let's hire somebody. But when they are hiring that somebody or that someone, They are not only hiring him because he attended lecture and he have a first class CGPA or he have a second class upper CGPA. But basically, why they will hire or what they will look for in somebody is the person that have the experience and the leadership or the project development skills that he already acquired in school. Because in the industry out there, they can't work with people whereby they only attend lectures without that um, outside world view. You understand? What university tends to give you, or what lectures or your academic tends to make you acquire is the theoretical aspect. But when you join this extracurricular build, is where you tend to gather experiences. Because if you go out there, maybe you see a job application or an internship application, there's a segment that will tell you 2 years experience or 3-year experience. Rather, you that you are just graduating, where do you see the 2 years of experience to impute there? This is where your extracurricular activity come in. Those kind of leadership experience and practical experience you gain in the society or the association you join as a leader or as a member are things you can include there. The internship you gain from those society or those association are also things you could impute there that will accumulate to your 2 years experience or 3-year experience. So basically, what employer really look for in maybe hiring someone is that they look for the adaptable leadership experience or leadership role, persuasive communication, cohesive teamwork, and then there's this dynamic problem solving. Okay, we know in class basically what we are tends to is the conceptual theory, the standardized exam and academic writing. But there's this, how will I put it? There's something that comes with extracurricular whereby you build these problem solving skills in reality, that there will be a problem that you as a leader or as a member just need to solve without maybe using your the academic knowledge you are acquiring or the theoretical knowledge you are acquiring, but the practical experience you have gained or you've experienced is what you use to solve those problems. Then there's this proactive initiative. From joining extracurricular, you tend to have a build mind or a build being towards initiative, and professional confidence also tends to improve or tends to build up in you. So next slide. So every activity is a classroom. What I mean by every activity is a classroom is that, okay, every activity you engage in, that is the extracurricular you engage in, every activity you do here or every little thing you do here is just like a learning process for you, like how a classroom is a learning process. So maybe you are organizing something, you are organizing a conference or organizing a program, you tend to gain some knowledge like budgeting, negotiation, and project management. Those things kind of build up in you. You tend to have like an outside view or an open eye towards this kind of thing. Then maybe you are leading a group work. There's this kind of strategic decision you have to just make. There's this kind of conflicting two decision, but you need to come to make one decision, whereby you have to make decision. You have to come to a decision making in your team as a team lead or someone that is leading a team. Then you also have team coordination. Then you can also have, maybe you could be put in a research project whereby you tend to go and find or source data. You tend to come and speak outside, come and defend what you research about, and then critical analysis whereby you tend to critically think of, okay, what am I really doing? What did I even want to present? And what is the aim of what I'm trying to present? So when also, there are kind of extracurricular activities that come with volunteering. So when you volunteer, you tend to have this social empathy, resourcefulness, and team alignment. Resourcefulness in the essence that some volunteer work might not pay you, they might not give you the necessary skills acquisition you want, but then there is this kind of resourcefulness that comes towards it. I can remember when I was a volunteer for Premier Africa at my 200 level. It was a volunteer work, a volunteer research work. When Ifeanyi told me then, he said it's free, like no payment, but you just have to do it, research, and then it's a very rigorous one. But at the end of the day, the kind of logins or the kind of subscription I think I gained at the end of the volunteer work were much more than, how will I put it? I can put it in a way that they were much more crucial or important than the work I did for the company or for the association like that. So there are some kind of resourcefulness that tend to come with volunteer work. Next slide.
I'm coming, let me. I think this is the last slide.
Yeah, that's the last slide. So basically, what actually comes with you not being in extracurricular, or what is the thing, what is the cost of you waiting and not joining extracurricular, right? So the thing is, when you look back after graduation, maybe after you graduate and you tend to look back, one thing you realize is that it is not the lecture that you attend or the classroom that you will be sitting down that actually define your experience. I don't know if you guys understand this statement. After graduation, you tend to look back, maybe we are trying to figure out where to go, and then you try to rewind back. So that is when you tend to realize that, okay, the lectures you've attended, the classroom are not really what define your experience. What really define your experience by then is the yes or the I agree to some responsibility or to some roles, and the time, those time that you lead something, and those time that you step out of your comfort zone, because I know this is basically what is killing most of us. That leaving our comfort zone is one thing that people find very difficult to do. So those things that stay with you, or those things that you really do then, are what really define your experience, and not the academic degree or academic classroom or lecture you attend. Because at the end of the day, university is not just about what you study, it is about the kind of the person you become while studying. Not that you just come to class, you read, you become a triangle student, as one lecturer will say, okay, from class to hostel, from hostel to class back or to library. So that kind of triangle cycle doesn't really define you. It is what, like what you do, the responsibility you take, that tends to define you. So the cost of waiting is like, you have to think about it that, okay, if you keep waiting, will your CV genuinely tell a story worth reading? That, okay, will your CV occupy that, okay, I used to read 24 hours, 7 days? Will your CV occupy that? Or who of influence is ready to recommend you? Like, is there somebody that can attest to you that, okay, you have the experience, you have the mentality, or you have the responsiveness in you to take up such a role in a company? Or what are the distinct experience that set you apart from another person that have the same degree as you and in the same university? What are those things that like distinguish you apart from the person? And then what are the lasting impact you have created before even leaving the school or before coming to the industry? What are those things? So these are the kind of things you tend to ask yourself that, okay, if I keep waiting, what are the costs behind it? And if I quickly join, or if I tend to move towards extracurricular and leverage on it, what are the benefits I'm going to gain? So I think I should be able to, I did justice to the topic, or I should be able to round up from here and hand over to the next speaker to clarify our part. Thank you very much for listening.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. for this beautiful presentation. Without much delay, I'll be handing it over to the president of NESA and also a member of Task Club, Martin Nifemi. You are welcome. Please, you can let me share your screen briefly.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible, please.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks to the first speaker, Mr. Habeeb. That was a very wonderful presentation. Please, Yasir, can you please share my slides? Thank you so much. So, the general topic is the dividend of extracurricular activities. And this topic is something that really resonates with me, maybe because right from 100 level, giving me the opportunity to be a speaker today. Please, I can't see the slides. Are you presenting already?
Yes, I'm presenting. If anybody else can see the slide, please let me know.
Okay.
Someone else should
So
know.
I will start with a very simple quote. Like I'm having network issue here. Please, can everybody hear me?
So in case you can't see the slide, please just put on your data and then take it on and off and then try joining the call again. Let's see if it works because it's currently being presented. So it will better you follow your slides.
Okay, I can see the screen actually. I just want to be sure everybody can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. I hope everyone else do.
Okay. Thank you so much, Yasu. So I'll start with a very simple quote that says there are two certainties in life, and the two certainties are tax and debt. I mean, it's a very common quote. I don't know if you have heard of that before. There are two things that are certain in life. And number one thing is debt. Of course, debt is certain. Number two thing is tax. And in this my presentation, I will show you why that particular quote is actually it's a great one, and I will tell you why extracurricular is beyond what most of us sees it to be. Please, I still want to confirm if you guys can hear me. Just react if you can hear me. Good.
Yes,
So,
we can hear you
yes,
clearly.
please, next slide. Thank you. Next slide. So, but before we proceed, I want us to connect some dots. I want us to put some things together. I want to try to create a picture so that everybody can see. Let's see the dots. The first one, next slide, please. So in the year 2023, something happened in the University of Ibadan. I believe everybody here knows the University of Ibadan. And what happens, you can see from a slide, in the year 2023, President Tinubu appointed Orire Agbaje, a member of the University of Ibadan Tax Club, as a member of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform chaired by Taiwo Oyedele. I believe everybody knows that recently there have been new tax laws here and there. You know, I think even last year, a lot of people were saying, a lot of people were saying that if you just make transactions, they will remove your money. There are a lot of narratives around that side, but I'm trying to put something together. Next slide, please. Now, let's look at data. In Nigeria alone, we have 38.5 million micro businesses. 38.5 million is not 38.5 thousand. 38.5 million micro businesses. We have 1.2 million small businesses. We have 20,000 to 30,000 medium enterprise, and we have 1.3 million large businesses. I'm still connecting the dot to next slide, please. Now, let's look at more data. Now, Nigeria alone, the population is estimated to be around 240 million people. That means in Nigeria, population 240 million people. Now, let's see the number of registered micro, small, and medium enterprises. So, how many small and medium enterprises are registered in Nigeria alone? We have about 39 to 40 million. Now, how many large businesses? We have it there, which I've said earlier. Registered taxpayers are over 40 million. And there's this last point I want us to pay attention to. We really need to pay attention to. The last one is the members of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. So in case you don't know, what do you mean by members of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria? They are those professionals that, they give advice on tax policy, they help sort issues on tax, they advise businesses on tax. There are only 20 to 25,000 of them in Nigeria. In a country where we have 39 to 40 million registered micro and small businesses, where we have over 1,300 large businesses, where we have over 40 million registered taxpayers, and there are only 20,000 to 25,000 people who can actually carry out or put these people together or explain to these people what the basis of tax is. Now, the point I'm trying to draw here, please react if you can hear me. Please react if you can hear me. Good. Now, the point I'm trying to draw here is very simple, is that you see, a lot of people used to see tax as something that, maybe I'm not a tax person, I'm this. Tax is meant to be an accomplice, let me put it that way. It's meant to be an accomplice to whatever you want to do. I remember one time ago, it was this year, early this year, we were having our normal webinar session. It was a physical one. And I was surprised to see someone from Faculty of Engineering in our midst. So I was like, obviously, people that join Tax Club are people that, finance, business, and all of those things. So I was surprised. So I was curious. I went to meet the guy that engineering is, I know tax is for everybody, but engineering is really is far. So he was telling me that, their lecturers advised them that the new tax policy is a plus to them. That even if I want to employ you as an engineer, or I want to employ you as whatever field you find yourself in, having tax knowledge is an advantage. I still had someone who was telling me that there was a time he went for a particular job interview, and they were much in Nigeria, the big narrative that there's no job outside and all of that. And because the employer wants to reduce the number of applicants, the first question he asked them is that, how many of you have professional certification? He said none of them. The next question he asked that, how many of you are aware of the recent tax and everything within tax area? He said there were just two, and those two people are those people that were interviewed. He did not even tell me whether he got the job, but I did not know about the second person. So what am I trying to say? The first point I'm trying to establish here is that Tax Club or tax is for everybody, irrespective of the field you find yourself. You're an economist, you're an accountant, it was still last month where I just had someone who just contacted me and he said he wants me to help him file his tax. And he paid me handsomely for it. But let me continue my slide. Next slide, please, so that you will get. And there's a big question I want us to ask. So after all this data have showed to us, after the Agbaje, Oriri, do you still think taxation is only for tax professionals? That's the questions I really want to ask everybody here. Please react if you can hear me. I'm not sure if everybody can hear me. React if you can hear me. Good. Now, so the big question I've come to ask us today is, do you still think taxation is only for tax professionals? If we have over 60 million micro businesses, over 1,500 big businesses, over 40 million taxpayers, and there are only 20,000 people to fend for all these numbers. Next slide, please. So the major thing I'll really focus on this class is how to maximize extracurricular activities. Yeah, I actually put this picture here because I want to I want to tell us something very funny. One thing you will really enjoy about extracurricular is that it tends to give you the ability to explore, to see what life is, in fact, outside ABU entirely. And right here, I titled this slide is how to maximize extracurricular activities. And in these slides, I'm going to explain what extracurricular activities is not, because I've noticed that a lot of people tends to make mistake on what extracurricular activities is not. And I'm going to cite a very interesting story. I'll round up very soon. I think this is the second to the last slide or so. Now, there is this particular guy in a particular extracurricular activity somewhere. I don't want to mention. This guy, okay, let me tell you about this guy very quickly. This guy is, let me put it as, is everywhere. When I say is everywhere, think of any extracurricular activities you can think of in any school or in this school, ABU. This guy is part of everything. And that leads me to tell you how to maximize your extracurricular activities. The first point I put here is don't be everywhere. You can't fully maximize the advantage of extracurricular activities if you are everywhere. Know that. And to continue with my story, so there was this particular intern opportunity that we got that we want to give out to just 3 people, a limited slot. So we were contemplating on, should we give this particular guy or we should not give him? So when the basis of criteria, when we were to evaluate this guy, the first thing we evaluated him on was that, has this guy been actively, working? Is one thing to be part of a club or an association, is another thing for you to be active there. And because the guy he has never been active. He has been a member. We give him work to do. We tell him do this. He's not always doing it. And for that reason, we did not consider him among those that get the slots. So number one thing, you want to maximize extracurricular activities, you don't have to be everywhere. Pick 2 to 3, max of 3 that you can do very, very well. You feel like, okay, my energy lies here. Let me tell you another story that resonates with me. How can I even put it? I manage stock portfolio. For those that know me very well, I manage stocks portfolio, and I manage stock portfolios that is worth millions of naira. And when I look at TIS, Investment Society in ABU, is one society I always love to join. I always love to be part of. So when I was coming to resume for 400 level, I was like, okay, let me, write or be part of TIS as well to become a member. I took their interview, their everything, and I passed. But at the last 3,000.
Oh, I don't know if it's my network or it's you, but I've not been hearing you. Though you stopped at the point where you talked about you reaching the last stage of the TIS interview.
Thank you. So I wrote the last stage, and I get to ask myself a question. I'm already the president of NESA. I am I belong to Tax Club. I'm the head of research, and I mentioned and I listed all the extracurricular activities I belong to, and I came to a conclusion to not proceed with TIS. I love TIS. I love what they do, but because when I look at my schedule, I don't want to be everywhere. Number one, when I look at my schedule, it's very tight. So one thing you want to do as someone who wants to maximize extracurricular activities is you don't want to be everywhere. To be very fast, number 2 is be an active member. Yes, I think this one is very, very rampant. A lot of people wants to be, everywhere, like I said, but you don't want to be an active member. And I think personally, I've had that problems where I tend to be, maybe holding a particular post or managing a particular activities. And I noticed that everybody's energy is always strong at the beginning. Everybody is always willing, like, yeah, we are going to do a lot. We are going to achieve this. We are going to, but along the line, you see a decline in that zeal. It's always common. You cannot maximize extracurricular activities if you are that kind of person. You need to be always active. I can mention people I've worked with in ABU, and I don't think any of them will tell me, Amati, during your time, you were not you did not do very well. I always make sure I give out my best anywhere I find myself. And last point I have here before my last slide is networking and career growth. Yeah, look at this picture you are seeing here. Actually, it was myself and a 500 level law student where we went to Lagos. This was not the only time I'll be going to Lagos to represent tax law. I think this is my second or my third time. So we were there to represent ABU in LASU, Lagos State University, and I met a very wonderful man there. The man was like, I don't know if you guys know what we call professors at bar. He was the highest professors there. So after my presentation, I just see that he waved and he told me to come. The next thing he asked me was, the next thing he told me was that he finished from ABU in 19 something, 40 something years ago was when he finished. And to my greatest surprise, this man he owns 3 law firms. He gave me his business card. He gave my friend also his business card and told us that we should message him when we are done for intern and job opportunities. That if he has any, he's going to put us on. So I'm just like that. I just did my presentation, coming down the stage. This man waved. I still have his business card today. So I think that's one of the things extracurricular will really give you. It will make you to, if you know how to cultivate and how to ride on all these associations you are seeing, it's for your own benefit, it's for the growth of the associations as well. But not waste much of my time. I think next slide, last slide, I think that should be next slide, please. Just see. So there's only one thing I'll use to end my presentation this night. We've heard from the first speaker, we heard from the second speaker, we'll be hearing from the third speaker soon. Is that in the end, what really matters is not being everywhere. You don't have to be, but making a meaningful impact in the few parts you choose or you find yourself. I think that's what I'll just end with everybody. So in a nutshell, please, to maximize extracurricular activities, you need to be active. You don't have to be everywhere. And I think that leads me to the end of my presentation. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your beautiful presentation. And before I share the next slide, I would love to add to what he said. As he said that whenever you are involved in the extracurricular activities, you kind of have to just focus your energy into one thing in order to get a good result out of it. So that's very true, especially for new students. You kind of see a lot of people based on the fact that they don't really have one direction, which is very normal, by the way. Only few people you find having a particular direction. So you could try 1 or 2 things, but I think you shouldn't go beyond 2 or 3 associations. And I think that's it. He really explained it well. So just give me a moment as I share the last slide. All right, so our third speaker, please can you confirm if you can see your slide, and then you can proceed to start after a brief introduction.
Okay, yes, I can see the slide and I can hear you very well. Sorry, I'll be
All right.
using Habeeb's link.
All right, please, you can go ahead. You can go on, please.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and I'm so glad to be here to discuss the return on investment, that is the dividends of extracurricular activities. So please, the next slide. Okay, firstly, I believe we all understand what investments means, and okay, someone is okay. I believe we all understand what investment is and the returns. For every investment, we expect a return, we expect dividend. And so in this aspect, we are talking about extracurricular activities. So if you put your time, your effort, your energy, you are consistent in a particular course, or a particular extracurricular activities you engage in, what are the dividends? What are the things you are going to get in return? And extracurricular activities are one of the few investments students can start making today before they earn their first salary. This is in the aspect that, okay, based on statistics, right? It is that students that engage in extracurricular activities are more employed than the bookworms, like the one that come to school that, okay, I only want to do my studies. Is very good and fine. But aside that, there are some other things that you have to put in place while in school. Some people say, don't let the school pass through you, or how did they used to say it? So please, the next slide. Okay, the dividends. So yeah, we are talking about the foundational growth, capacity building. So when you join an extracurricular activities, is it TIS, IETA, task club, this kind of society or clubs, they build you. They give you some practical things to work with. They, like, you learn in the process of joining these clubs or society. Aside the Econs 101, Econs 102, Econs 203 or 204 you are going to be doing in your classes. These are what will be taught in these clubs or society are the basic practical things that you'll be doing after school. That is, oh, I want to be a tax analyst, I want to be a finance analyst, I want to be I want to do Islamic finance. But you are just on book alone, you are reading the theory, you are not doing the practical. So this will, one of the dividends is that it will give you that capacity building in terms of non-academic skills, like organizing projects, budgets, and also learning professional tools. I heard the NESA president talking about getting professional certificates. Yes, this society or club will expose you to these certifications you can get, which aligns with your career path, and also leadership focus. I'll make reference to what NESA president said. He said that you should be active in participating in clubs and society. Don't just be a member. Don't just be a passive member. Oh, my own is just to go and just leave the society at the closing hour. No, that is not what it means for you to participate in extracurricular activities. When you participate in extracurricular activities, be very conscious of that. No, I want to get something from this. And from that, when you are very active, they see you doing things, they see you engaging yourself, they will trust you with some committee work or even a bigger work than that. So that is where you build your own leadership skills also. It's more like navigating student politics or club, society, aligning team priorities, and leading volunteers under real pressure. Trust me, when you join clubs or society, there are real pressures that you experience, more like, okay, this is a practical thing that you experience out there when you want to work. Some interviews, they will ask you, can you work under pressure? But you as a student, you've learned this thing when you were still a student before going to the outside world. So you've learned how to like juggle in between studies and juggle between your extracurricular activities also. So that kind of give you like a real experience. And also your communication. When you join clubs, society, let me say TIS especially, on TIS we engage our members like to do things, to present, to make sure that they come up with initiative that they can come up and come and present to their other members. So this alone, it builds them, it builds their skills, their soft skills, their communication skills, their public speaking skills. Because when you come on podium, some people will be like, no, me, I cannot talk, I will not say anything. But when you are in a team, working with other people and you are called upon to come and project what you have prepared, that is, each of the team members will be given the chance to talk. In that instance, even in the first instance that you are given the chance to talk, you might not speak very well, but the next one, the third one, they said practice makes perfect, right? So with that, you'll be able to build your public speaking skills and also true confidence in yourself. When you have done some practical things, you will know that, okay, even if you find yourself outside, you will know that, yes, I can do this thing. So it's not like testing your skills in real world scenarios. Find your professional voice and validating your potential. This validating there is so much in you that you think you cannot do. But when you come to gatherings of like minds, when you come to gatherings of people that will show you the path, you will know that you have much more in you that you can do than what you think you cannot do. Because when you are in class, some people will just be like, my own is just to go class and go back to hostel. It's very good and fine, but what is it that you can do extra outside these classes? What is it that you can do in building yourself? And I can say for a very short thing that most of our members in the investment society, like, they have that confidence in them. They have that confidence in them that some of them are even like, okay, before I joined TIS, this is who I am. And after, this is what I've been able to gain. So not every dividend pays immediately, trust me, but every genuine investment compounds. You are going to your meetings, for the society or clubs you join, you participate actively. Those are investments. And when they compound, it's for your own benefit. Please, the next slide. Okay, this one is the strategic value, networking and community. When you join a club or society, more like, let me say TIS. TIS is about finance. So one thing I will tell you is that know what you want. Know what you want. Just like NESA president said that don't join so many clubs or society on campus that at the very end you cannot even say, okay, I'm able to achieve this certain thing in this place. While I was coming to the school, like my 100 level, I know that, yes, me coming to this school, I'm definitely going to join a club or a society. And when I check around 100 level, I heard about Task Club, I heard about the investment society. I know that, okay, yes, the investment society is actually what aligns with what I want to do. So know what you want to do, and that will help you to know the clubs or society that you want to join. If it's finance, there is the investment society. If it's tax, there is Tax Club. If it is Islamic finance, we have IETA there. So that will help you to tailor what your choice in joining society. Not that you join the bad one, go, oh, my friend is going to this society, I'll follow her, I'll make sure I'm part of this society also. So know what you want. And this helps you to build a professional connection. You get access to alumni networks, corporate partners, and mentors who can assist with career placement. Trust me, this being in this kind of community, irrespective of the club or society you are on campus, it builds a kind of connection that you will not see if you are just a student. If you are just an economic student, you cannot see this kind of professional connection. Exclusive parts, learn about specialized workshops, professional training, and hidden internship opportunities. Trust me, no lecturer will come to the class and tell you that, oh, we have these opportunities for you, or we have this professional training. Even if you are the best of the best students in your class, but they see that you are doing something aside class, they see that you have a capacity in you that you have already built by joining some clubs or society. It will even help them to like be able to recommend you to some jobs opportunity or internship, because someone that does not have all these skills, it will be very hard for them to recommend them. And also durable community, build a lifetime network of ambitious, like-minded peers across different disciplines. I can tell you for sure that me being a member of the investment society, I've come across different career people and different students in different schools, not only in TIs. It helps you to build that connection. It helps you to build that long-lasting network that will be very valuable to you at the very end. Please, the next slide. Okay, this is just like a, how will I even put it? It's more like an evidence, like not plenty talk and no evidence. So one thing I would say is be active. Yes, be active. It's through my active member, me being an active member in the investment society, I've been able to like be part of team of different teams, that I build relationship with finance professional. I participate in competitions, national competitions, representing the school, and also develop analytical thinking, because trust me, all these things, they come together for you, and it's for your own good, it's for your own benefit. I said it that when I was coming to this school, I had it in mind. I'm definitely going to join the society. So know what you want. Be very active in whatever society or clubs you find yourself. Be very active, contribute, be an active member, and also build relationship with people around you. Please, the next slide. Okay, this is a call to action for every one of us on this call. If you are yet to join an organization or society or club, so at least join one organization that aligns with your goals. I'm saying this alignment because it will be very bad for you, and it will be a waste of time if you know that you are very passionate about, let me say, finance, but because your friend is in Enactus, you went to go and join Enactus. Like it's a wrong step for you. And also attend the meetings consistently, volunteer for at least one project, build meaningful relationship. Trust me, it's this relationship that will help you at the end, after school life. What are those connections? What are those relationships you've built while on campus? And also learn one new skill through your participation. When you start, you don't know anything, but while you are in that club, while you are in that society, make sure that you learn at least one new skill. Give yourself a target that, oh, I'm coming to this club, I'm coming to this society, I want to do this, I want to learn this, I want to learn that. So make sure you know what you want, know the career paths that align with your goals. Attend, be very active, be very active. It's one of the core thing in being a member of any club or society. Please, the next slide. Okay, your future self is watching. 4 years from now, your CGPA will tell people what you studied, definitely. And your extracurricular journey will tell people who you became. The dividend is not just the position you held. Some people are so big on titles that, oh, I want to be this when I join this society or this club. But trust me, it's nothing. It is the person you become because you held it. What is that impact that you are able to create? What is that dividend that you yourself you are able to achieve while holding that position? So check that very well when you finally become a member of any society or club. Make sure that you become someone that you know that, oh, it's a different person that joined this society or club. It's a different person that is living there. Next slide. Thank you very much for listening.
All right. Thank you so much, our speaker, Matthew, Habeeb, and Bilikis. Thank you so much. So, though I'm not a speaker, I would love to add one or two things to what she said. Though I don't know, let me see if the audience have been following all what have been said. So, can anybody just briefly unmute their mic and tell us what a extracurricular activities mean? Just unmute your mic and speak. If you are the first, you are the first. Please, let's have someone in the next 5 seconds. All right, since no one is going to speak, so as our speakers have clearly been able to demonstrate practically, an extracurricular activity is any activity that you do beyond class that adds value to you. Well, John Mark, it's too late. I've already answered it. So I want to share this real story with you. So I have someone that I know this person, and this person always tells me that he wished he was still an undergraduate and he wished he knew some of these opportunities existed. He would have gone back to do this thing because he sees how much value people get from these things beyond their degree, and it gives them exposure. And mind you, this person is doing a very good work and is earning a good salary, but that extracurricular activities he feels would have added more value to him, made him build real connection, gain more experience, and probably do even something better than he's currently doing. And mind you, he's wishing to go back and do all these things. So extracurricular activities are very important. So please don't joke with them. And I can bet you, the more aware you become after school, the more you realize you wish you had invested in at least one extracurricular activity that adds value to you. Also, our president, he made mention of internship. So another type of extracurricular activities that you could kind of involve yourself in, even if no one tells you to do so, it's applying for internships. You can get internship is like, as a student, getting work experience, just like SciWest and IT. So there are certain departments that usually they don't tell their students to go for internship, just like my department. So no one is going to tell you to do it or not. Like as they said, no one is going to come to your class to ask you, okay, go for this internship, go for that internship. And these internships are very easy to get. Me personally speaking, I've been able to secure at least 4 internships within the span of less than 2 years. Not even this year, like right from the end of my 200 level, where I got late awareness, but within that, I was able to secure up to 4 internships, like within a short period of time. And no one came to me and said, yes, do this, do that. And some of these internships, though I wasn't officially paid by the organization to do an internship, I went there to learn. But of course, because of the relationship I built with the people there, they offered me more opportunity to come back with them anytime I want in this life, to continue internship and even work with them. And of course, I made money out of this internship. So don't wait for your department to tell you to apply for any internship. Please, if you have an ambition to apply for internship or have a work experience, start asking people if there's anyone who can help you with these internships. You can start searching on LinkedIn. You can start applying online, and definitely you're going to get it. It's not something difficult, though we are not going deep into this in this session. Also, when it comes to joining association, do not join any association if you don't have a clear goal of what you want to achieve, as all our speakers have emphasized on this. So do not join any association that you don't have a clear goal to achieve from it. Say, for example, you want to learn about finance. There are certain associations that you should not go to. You cannot go to, let's say, plugin and you want to learn about finance. You cannot go to IETA and you want to learn about purely taxation, so it's related to Islamic finance. So as an undergraduate, if you ask me, what are those organizations that added value to me because I was involved in it at one stage or the other, I will boldly tell you IETA has been part of it, PIS have been part of it. And though I have not ever been a member of Task Club, I know people doing good in Task Club, such as Matthew, who spoke previously. Yes, they're doing very fine there, and we have a lot of people doing very excellently there. For example, the IETA Forward program. I remember a lot of us, when we joined the IETA Forward programs, some of us, let's say we had phobia when it comes to public speaking. A lot of us have never used PowerPoint, and we just had to learn these things because we were given tasks to learn these things. And then in TIS, you get to interact with like-minded people. And if there's one thing I've really learned in TIS beyond the professional skills that we've been learning, I think it's just the network. So there are certain associations I joined strictly because of the environment, the professional environment it offers to me. And then some I joined simply because I want to network with certain group of people. So I think I would be leaving the floor for the audience to ask their question to any of the speakers. You can ask randomly and you can target your question to any of our speakers. Thank you. So you can just indicate by raising your hand or type your message in the chat box. I'll read it out. Thank you. So do you have any question? If you have, you can raise your hand and then you'll be allowed to speak. All right, you're on mark. I can see your hand raised up. Take it down and then unmute your mic and ask your question.
Okay. Good evening, sir, and uh, um, our instructors, or would I say our facilitators. Thank you so very much for these insightful moments. Though I joined late, but then I knew a lot of things that I achieved and a lot of things that I noted down. So my question is, how do you find balance with these extracurricular activities with your academics? Because like you just said, our department, which is economics department, they demand so much time to some extent, not really much. But then there are sometimes that you may have classes up to like 6 o'clock. And then how do you find balance? And then sometimes with your faith also, maybe your church activities, school activities, and then also with the extracurricular activities. How can you find balance in doing all these things and then you not crashing?
All right. So I guess you hear his question clearly. So I think you guys can kind of rotate the question across yourself. Each person can share his own perspective of how they are able to balance these activities. So we can start with our first speaker, then the second speaker, then the third speaker. I think that's fine. Is that fine? If anyone of you is available, you can start, please.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So I think it's basically boils down to how will I put it, your skill of preference and then your passion towards what you are doing, right? And then how important you take them into play. Because I know with the fact that okay, your primary goal here is your academics, right? But then aside the academics, there's still something that you need to tag or attach along with the academic to graduate with, right? So you tend to know what to do, when to do it, and when not to do it. I don't know if I'm making sense in the sense that okay, um classes finish 6, okay, you have church activities to go, and then maybe you have maybe a tax or something to do for an association. So you tend to know how to manage your time, because you and I both know that you don't use 24 hours for academics, and you can't use 24 hours for your academic and your church activity or any other activities. There are still some hours of leisure time. So this is where you tend to cut in leisure time to kind of achieve what you want or that thing you are aiming for.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Habib. So can we have any of our speakers answer this question, or are you very clear with his response?
Okay, I think I want to say something
Yes,
about
sir.
that.
Yes, I'm
All right.
really okay. Okay.
Okay, I think you see, sorry, I want to use this example. If I tell you that, okay, let's say for example now, I have someone, maybe I'm married or something, and I tell the person that I love the person, I must, out of my busy schedule, I must always find time for the person, no matter how I love it. The proof that you love something is that you give it time. Do you get me? So the proof that you want something from your extracurricular is that you give it time. It boils down to what the IETA president has said as well. So it just based on how so bad you want something, how much you want to, how much you want to see yourself grow, how much you want to achieve for yourself. I mean, the way you have defined what you want for yourself, it boils down to that. Okay, I think personally, there was a time I was writing my professional exam that was taking much of my time. I was doing school at the same time. I was doing extracurricular activities at the same time, and I still have some other things I was doing side by side. So it just boiled down, and I was able to manage everything because I tried to, okay, maybe in the morning I'm going to class, night is for my reading. Sometimes I think there was a day I even did 42 days TDB when I was writing, when I was preparing for my professional exam because I didn't want to fail. So it just boils down to how much do you want this thing? How much do you want to see yourself grow? The fact that you're still giving an excuse is the fact that that thing is not really burning in you any. But if you really want to see yourself grow, you know what you want to be, where you want to be, I think you always see the time. Thank you.
All right. So, because do you wish to add something to what our other speakers have said, or can we proceed to ask the next question?
Okay, no, I'm clear, sir, and I clearly understand everything they say, and I noted everything. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right. So I can see another question saying that, so how can we join any club or society now? So I would answer this question. So these clubs and society, towards the end of the session and even within the whole session, they usually release flyers with links asking you to join the association. Take, for example, IETA Ford program, TIS, Tax Club. They release links and Google Forms. So this is where you get to know about these associations and join. I mean, that's just basically how you join this association. So, and one thing that I would advise, because I can say a lot of questions that basically focus on things you should figure out on your own without waiting for anyone. That if you really want something, please just figure out how to get it done, even if there is no one to guide you. So that's basically how you get to know a lot of things, even if someone does not tell you. So the next question here in our chat box says, what society educates you more on policy making? So I don't know what you mean by policy making, but maybe it's something related to finance or economics. So I don't know if our speakers can kind of tell him like where he can learn about policy making.
Okay, I think I would love to answer that question. So, when it comes to policy making, yeah, to me, I think Task Club will help you to understand that. Why? Because centered around Tax Club, what one of the things we evaluate is the policies government are making, how it affects the economy
Fiscal
at
policy.
large, how tax plays a role. I feel TIS2 will do justice to that to a reasonable extent. But in Tax Club as well, we look at, like the current happenings around the tax world, the current finance acts, the previous ones, we look at it, how all these policies, how do they affect the economy at large? Is it something, okay, I gave an example when I was making my presentation saying that there was a time where narrative was going about saying once you make transaction, they will just debit your account as tax. Once you went to go and buy gas, there were a lot of things online. So all these things, part of the things you do is that because you understand the policy, all these policies, you educate people on it. So I think Task Club generally, one of the things we do is to that we make you understand all these policies and we teach you how to become a good policymakers, which I feel TIS2 and IETA too, I believe there should be something like that. So thank you.
Yasir, are you there?
I think he's not on the call anymore. I think maybe he's having network issues. So do we still have any question, please, before we call
Oh,
this? Okay, I think there are still some
sorry,
questions in the
my mic was muted. I did not realize. So someone is asking that he doesn't even know which club exists. How will I be able to choose one which aligns with my goals? My question is, how do I find out which club which makes the best fit? I think you should briefly answer this question. Anyone, please.
Come again with that.
He said that he doesn't know what club exists and he doesn't know what club aligns with his goals. So how does he find a club that will make a best fit for him? So that's the question.
That question, I don't think I'm at the best position to like explicitly answer it for you because as per se, I am not you and I don't know what you want. So it boils down to you identifying yourself out, you knowing what are the things you have passion for and what are the things or how do you see yourself in the future? What are the things that really align with you? So So basically, clubs that exist or society that exists, we have the tax club, the investment society, and then the Islamic Economic Thought Association. So that is those that are within, let's say, within the Department of Economics, and then the Faculty of Business and Management Science, and also, let's say, Faculty of Social Science. So those are those ones that are within those two faculties. So it is on you, or it is now your responsibility to know what really aligns with you and what you really want to become in the future, that you can push towards.
All right, thank you. Is any question from the other speakers? Please, Matthew, do you have anything to add to this?
I don't. Not that I don't want to, but I think the president has done justice to that. I think there are other questions in the chat box I would like us to answer before we end this session.
All right, so let me add to this. Like as he said, that part of the first part of his question said that he doesn't know what club exists, and if I should be very sincere with you, you not knowing what clubs exist in the school only means that you just attend class. So, like as someone who pays attention to what's happening in his environment, there is no way you tell me that you don't know that certain clubs exist. So, sincerely speaking, like you have to put more effort to be aware of what's happening in your surrounding. Like for anyone, yeah, a 100 level student for sure. So I kind of relate with what you're saying. But this semester you're going to know a lot of clubs. So like kind of put more effort into knowing what's happening around. Don't just ignore WhatsApp messages when you see them. And of course, you're going to see a lot of associations that are advertising for recruitment, as I've mentioned earlier. And if you don't find an association that aligns with your goal, if they don't exist, then I feel you should look for people who you share common goals together and then start something together before, and then believe me, it can grow. Yes, that is just the advice I'll give you. So the next question is there any proof of participation or certificate that's given to someone who participated in any club or society which may be included in my CV to look saturated? For this, I think our tax club member could answer this question. Just yes. Mr. Matthew, are you on the call?
Please, what's the question, please?
He said that is there any proof of participation or certificate that is given to someone who participated in any
Yeah,
club or
for sure
society?
there is, and this spans across all your clubs that you join. I believe TIS will give you, TIS will give you a certificate of being a member, and tax club will do the same thing. IETA will do the same thing. So for all clubs or association, and you can even include most of these things in your CV. So good enough. It will, as an undergraduate, it will make you to have something in your CV, not just clean from 400 level to 400 level. I graduated with so nothing more. So I think all associations will give you that. Thank you.
Thank you. So there's another question here that says, is it best to start engaging in clubs while in 100 level or concentrate on building my GPA first? Which one is a priority as a fresher? Did you
Please,
get me, please?
can I say something on that? Can I say something on that? Maybe other speakers can talk after. Hello?
Did you get my last question?
Yeah, I got your last question.
All right.
Okay.
So please, anyone can go ahead
I
to answer the question.
Okay, I will love other speakers to also answer this question because I feel it's a very important question. It says, is it best to start engaging in clubs while in 100 level? For me personally, I feel
Yeah.
this question is subjective. But for me personally, the way or the kind of advice I would give you might be different from what every other person might give you. My advice is 100 level, start engaging in extracurricular is not something I would really advise you to do. My advice, you can start from your 200 level, which is fine. So as you are moving into another session entirely, you can start from 200 level. 100 level, my 100 level generally, I was not in any this thing. I think I was just observing across the schools, the school rather. So in my 200 level, that was when I joined IETA. I was a part of IETA. In my 200 level also, I joined tax club. So I think your 100 level should just be understand the system, understand the school environment. Are you getting me? So once you understand the system, your 200 level, you can now start, okay, I think this one piqued my interest, this piqued my interest, then you can now join. But from 100 level, I will not really advise you to join extracurricular activities.
Okay, do you have any other speakers input to this? All right, I think there's no other input. So, yes, particularly, like, I would advise you strictly if you focus on your academics as a fresher. Though as a fresher, it doesn't mean you can't do anything. Observing, as the president has said, observing is also part of participating in extracurricular activities, but it doesn't engage you. It's basically you tend to study your environment to know what exists as you're studying. And then one thing you can also do to add value to yourself is in your 100 level, be focusing on learning basic skills. You can watch tutorials online on how to do certain skills so that once you join these associations, you can add value to them. And then when it comes to joining this association, I don't know, there are a lot of people that kind of they don't really have this issue with joining multiple associations from their first year and still graduating with a very good grade, a lot of engagement and skills. So if you're that type of person, then this advice is not for you. So you look at who you are and how you can do. If you can maintain everything excellently, even if you are kind of occupied there, you can go for all these activities. But if you can, basically, I'll just advise you to stick to your academics, observe the environment, and probably within your second and third year, that is when you can start involving yourself in one or two extracurricular activities. So the next question here, someone is saying, is there any certificate for after you graduate? We've answered this question. So we have read every single question on the chat box, and I want to confirm with this that we have no other question to answer, and then with that we'll be closing the call. This I think at this point I'll just engage our speakers. I know you guys have other engagements, so are you okay? We answer maybe two more questions before we end the call, because I can see another important questions here. The question says, how can I start looking for internship? So Habeeb or Matthew, I don't know any one of you that could answer this question, and then I will add to it, and then we end the call.
Can you
like
put it
IETA president to answer. IETA president, please go ahead, sir.
Yasir, can you come again with that?
The person is asking how they can start looking for internships.
Okay, there are platforms. Let me just answer the question so as to end this call. There are platforms in which it's basically for internships, scholarships, opportunities. So it's just for you to get the right channels. And I'm very sure probably the class group platform in which different levels, there might be someone in that group sharing this info. But even online you can search, but trust me, online search is not as, you will see them definitely, but you don't even know the particular source. There is one platform, WhatsApp platform that it's called is it scholarship something. So they drop updates about internship, about scholarship that you can apply for. And I actually got this through someone in the society. So this It's not something that you just see on somebody's WhatsApp status and you just follow. So you just have to do your deep research before you can get this kind of thing.
All right, thank you so much. So,
Also, to kind of put a contribution into that, this is where also your membership in society, association, or clubs comes in, because most society or associations, when you are with them as a member, it tends to have a very solid accessibility to this kind of open internship, open scholarship, and a lot of slots like that. So they tend to forward it to their members to apply. I can attest to that. The TIS membership group or TIS member can also attest to that okay, there are a lot of application link that used to be sent to the membership group to apply. Even for the IETA forward program also, there's internship slots or let's say fellowship like impact programs or those kind of scholarship program too. When we see those kind of link available, we tend to forward it to the group. But we tend to forward it to the group. But then when you are in your main class group, you know the essence of the main class group. So these are also kind of or extra benefits you get in joining extracurriculars.
all right. So to add to my
Okay,
contribution
sorry,
is,
yes, sorry. I also have to.
oh,
I
go
want
ahead.
to say something concerning that. Okay, thank you. There's an app I personally use, and I got it from making this research. I just everything just falls back to making research, and it just. I just believe it falls back to how much you want something. When I was looking to intern in Lagos, after making research and all of that, I stumbled upon a particular app where you can use. I use it to stock companies. It's called Rental App. I use this app to stock companies where I see if they are recruiting intern. Their details is always there. I get their official mail, their recruitment mail. I get all the necessary information about any companies I want to intern. So once I get that information, I just start sending out mails, and I've gotten intern through that app. So I think maybe after this one, I'm going to share the app so that maybe everybody can download it, and you always get more opportunities from there. Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. So please, you can kind of type the name of the app so that you can see it even before we end the call. So, there are different ways you can get internship. The easiest way to get internship is when you have connection. Yes, you have classmates, you have family members that you can ask, please, I want to do so and so. Can you help me? And they are going to help you. This is the basic way of getting internship. As the president said, also again, it falls down to how much you need something. So, uh you could learn how to write cold emails and reach out to certain associations. And believe me, there are some associations that they don't care how unexperienced you are. The fact that you want something, they'll be willing to kind of take you in order to learn as a student. So you learn cold emailing. Thirdly, on LinkedIn, if you are very good at using LinkedIn, there are places where internships are shared. And then you can also join specialized WhatsApp group. Though the issue we have with most of our students is the fact that they just want to figure things out. Like if you really want something and you have no one to give it to, please never wait. Find a way to figure it out by yourself. Like I always say, find a way to figure out that by yourself. You search on LinkedIn. In fact, now you have the free University of YouTube where you can basically search how do I get internship as a Nigerian student, and a lot of things will come. So, and there are a lot of people in your class that you might not even know that have all this knowledge. So you should be learning from them. So ways you can get internship by recommendation, by family members and stuff like that. So I think that answers your question. And we will not be answering any other question. Please, if you have any other question, you can drop it in the group where you got this link from, and then if any of us sees this question, we can kind of answer it. So I don't know if any of our speakers has something to say, and then with that we are going to be ending this call. Thank you so much for your time. Please, do we have any other last statement from any of our speakers that would end the call? All right, so in absence of any question, I would be ending the call after appreciating all of you guys for showing up. Thank you so much for showing up. I hope you guys have taken value from whatever the speakers had to say. Thank you so much, and we hope to have more insightful sessions such as this one.